Most people don't fail because they aren't smart, they fail because they are practicing the illusion of competence. You spend hours highlighting, rereading, and reviewing, and you feel productive. But when the exam hits, your mind is a void. Why? Because you didn't learn, you just became familiar. Today, we are going to dismantle your broken habits and rebuild your brain into a high-retention machine. This is how you actually study before it's too late. Chapter 1: Why Your Brain Forgets. Your brain is designed to forget. It's an evolutionary filter. To the brain, 90% of what you read today is noise. If you don't intentionally signal to your hippocampus that this information is vital for survival, it will be purged within 24 hours. To learn, we must hijack this biological filter. Chapter 2: The Two Pillars, Active Recall and Spaced Repetition. If you want to remember, you must stop putting information in and start pulling it out. This is active recall. It's the difference between watching someone lift weights and lifting them yourself. Don't read the chapter. Close the book and ask, what did I just learn? The mental pain you feel when you can't remember? That is the sound of a neural connection being forged. But recall isn't enough. You need spaced repetition. You need to revisit the information exactly when you are about to forget it. This expands the forgetting curve until the knowledge becomes permanent. Chapter 3: The Feynman Technique, the Ultimate Test. Richard Feynman, a Nobel Prize-winning physicist, had a secret: if you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it. The 4-step process. Choose a concept. Teach it to an imaginary audience. Identify the gaps where you stuttered or used jargon. Go back to the source and simplify. Chapter 4: The Biological Protocol, Sleep and Nutrition. You don't learn while you study, you learn while you sleep. Sleep is the save button for your brain. During REM sleep, your brain physically encodes the day's data. If you pull an all-nighter, you are essentially trying to build a house on quicksand. Chapter 5: The Architecture of Focus, Deep Work and Flow. You can have the best techniques in the world, but if your focus is fragmented, your retention will be zero. Most students suffer from attention residue. Every time you glance at your phone, a piece of your cognitive power stays stuck on that notification for up to 20 minutes. You aren't studying, you're just switching tasks. To truly learn, you must enter deep work. This is a state of distraction-free concentration that pushes your cognitive capabilities to their limit. It triggers the production of myelin, a fatty sheath that wraps around your neurons, allowing signals to travel faster. The more you focus, the thicker the wire becomes. We don't just want to learn, we want to build high-speed fiber optic cables in your brain. The protocol: 90-minute blocks. Phone in another room. No music with lyrics, only brown noise or silence. If it isn't difficult, you isn't growing. Chapter 6: The Palace of the Mind, Mnemonic Mastery. Your brain is terrible at remembering abstract facts, but it is a genius at remembering locations. This is why you never forget the layout of your childhood home. We call this the method of loci, or the mind palace. Don't try to memorize a list of dates or formulas in a vacuum. Place them in a room you know well. Make them vivid, strange, or even ridiculous. If you're learning biology, imagine a giant heart beating in your kitchen. If you're learning law, imagine a judge sitting on your sofa. By attaching new information to old architecture, you bypass the struggle of rote memorization. You aren't memorizing anymore, you are simply taking a walk through your own mind. This is how the ancients remembered entire epics, and it's how you will dominate your curriculum. Chapter 7: The Forest Plot Strategy, Interleaving and Variation. The biggest mistake in studying is block practice, spending 3 hours on just one type of math problem. It creates a false sense of mastery. You get good at the pattern, not the concept. The elite study method is interleaving. You must mix it up. Spend 20 minutes on geometry, then 20 on calculus, then 20 on physics. This forces your brain to constantly reset and identify the strategy needed for each problem rather than just mindlessly repeating the last motion. It feels slower. It feels more frustrating. But research shows that while block practice leads to better performance during study, interleaved practice leads to significantly higher scores on the actual exam. You are training your brain to be a scout, not just a soldier. You are learning to recognize the terrain before you strike. Finally, remember that your brain is a biological organ, not a hard drive. It requires hydration, omega-3s, and oxygen. If you are sitting still for 4 hours, your brain is starving. Every 45 minutes, move. Get your heart rate up for 2 minutes to flush your system with fresh, oxygenated blood. You are a biological machine. Treat the hardware with respect, use the software strategies we've discussed, and you will become an academic force that cannot be ignored. The exam isn't the enemy. Your lack of strategy is. You now have the blueprint. The illusion of competence is gone. The only thing left is the work. Stop being a passive consumer. Become an active master. Information is everywhere. Mastery is rare. You now have the tools that 99% of people will never use because they are too lazy to embrace the desirable difficulty of real learning. But you aren't most people. You are here, at the Forge. Go out, apply these laws, and show the world what a sharpened mind can do. Subscribe to MindForge. The session is over. The work begins.